Good morning, everyone. It's Tuesday, and it's time for our live video chat every Tuesday at 9:30 a.m. Mountain Time, because I'm in Colorado, and you'll have to check where you're at for your time zone, that we like to try to have live with Sarah or a live video chat. Well, I'm going to tell you guys, they're building a house over behind us, and where we live, they're all about 5 to 10 acre lots. Well, they're bringing in some great big loud equipment that, you know, when they back it up, it goes beep, 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 beep. So I'm going to warn you up front, my dogs may bark a little because they hate the beeping, and there might be some loud noises or, you know, the sound of a backhoe digging or something. So just so you know, it's been actually a lot of fun to watch them build over there, where they can just take a big empty lot and make a wonderful house. So that's kind of fun. Well, good morning, everyone. I see Lori and Dana, Michelle, Jane. Michelle again, she clinked in twice. Clink, clink. And Sharon. So far I've clinked in. Now, you're probably wondering why I have a cup that says Keith. Well, this is my husband's cup, and his name is Keith, and I believe his mother gave this to him a long time ago, and I just happened to come across it this morning. Good morning, Trish. And I just, like I said, I just happened to come across it this morning, and I wanted to use his cup because, you know what? He's my hero. You know, he has been the support our whole marriage life, and we were married in 1981, so that tells you a long time. And, you know, he really supports my yarn habit. And he's the one that helped, you know, set up with all the cameras and the lights and the wireless mic and new computers and all that kind of stuff. I mean, sure, I could have got those things, but I wouldn't have known what to get without him, right? He got online, did a lot of testing. And the other thing that he does is that he writes and performs all of the music for all of my videos that are over on YouTube. I just sort of tell him what I want, and he comes up with it. So anyway, I thought we'd make today National I Love Keith Day. So hello, Jennifer. Glad to see you. Hi, Susie and Leslie. Glad you popped in. Clink. Let's do a big clink. Clinkin'. I'm still a little hoarse. I don't know why this silly cough is dragging on, so please excuse the dry throat. I'm going to get a quick drink. I'm drinking peppermint mocha latte something that my daughter-in-law gave me, a really fun box of. She knows I love peppermint and chocolate. So anyway, good morning, Jane. See you popping in. Now, today our discussion, I've talked about this in the past, but I've been getting the question a lot lately again, and so I thought I would just revisit it. And the question is, what does it mean to crochet on the opposite or other side of the chain? And I'm going to show you a little demonstration in just a second. But this is a really cool and easy technique. And I learned this many years ago. Like I always say, that library book, I sure wish I could find it. It had how to do that in that library book. One of the things I really liked about that library book is that it had like the drawings, like sketch form. It was really a cool book. And I wish I could find that nowadays. Now, one thing that I have found that is similar is a website called Crochet for Dummies. Don't be offended because it's Crochet for Dummies. It is a great website because it has the drawn out illustrations, and I use it all the time when someone has a question, you know, and I've tried to tell them. And sometimes, you know, when you're trying to explain something to someone, you know, our brains don't always think alike, and so it doesn't click for them. But if they can see a picture sometimes, and some people really prefer a picture or a drawing over a video. I mean, we all think differently, right? All right, so let me show you a quick demonstration. I'm going to pop down to the lower cam and just show you what I'm talking about. All right, so pop on the glasses. I've got me a nice thick yarn here, and I've got a nice chunky crochet hook, and I'm just going to make a slip knot. And I'm going to chain about 6 or 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We'll go ahead and do 8. So here's your 8 chains. Okay, so now you can do this particular technique with any stitch. It doesn't have to be a single crochet, it can be a double crochet. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to begin stitching single crochets in the second chain and move across. So I'll put my hook in that second chain, pull up a loop, yarn over, and go through those 2 loops. And so since we chained 8, we're going to have 7 single crochets because we're beginning in the second chain from the hook. So I'm just single crocheting across the chain. All right, here's my last chain. So there's my single crochets, simple chain, and a row of single crochets. Well, what we're talking about is single crocheting on the opposite or other side of the chain. And how we do that is we turn our work, and sometimes, depending on what the pattern tells you to do, you may add another stitch in that last chain, and then what that does is it just helps you to move smoothly to the opposite side. And this is the opposite side or the other side of the chain. And so then what you'll do is you'll place single crochets or whatever stitch the pattern is telling you in those chains across. And if you've done it correctly, you'll see, let me make a few so you can kind of get a better idea. Whoops, lost my hook there. There we go. Let's get this flat so you can see it. What you'll see is your stitches will line up across. And it almost looks like you have a seam in the bottom. All right, let me get my hook back in there. And we'll go across. All right, and then usually they'll have you put your slip stitch in by you'll join using a slip stitch in that first single crochet or whatever stitch. I'm just going to chain 1 so you can see it. And that's the way that you single crochet on the other side of the chain. This makes a nice bottom for a bag or a slipper or anything that you're going to sew together. You won't have to sew it together if you begin with this technique. A lot of times you'll see this used on hoods where they'll have you go around, and then instead of joining, you'll go back and forth like this. All right. All right, let me scoot back over to the up cam. There we go. Get back in the center, pop off my glaring glasses. And that's what single crocheting, double crocheting, triple, whatever you want to use or whatever the pattern asks you to use, that's how you stitch on both sides or the other side or the opposite side of the chain. Now, many pattern writers call it different things. And one thing to remember, anytime there's something in a pattern that maybe you don't understand, there's a couple of things that you can do. You can contact the pattern designer. But remember, a lot of pattern designers have full-time jobs or families they're caring for or can't get right to your question. And if you can't get the answer to your question, Google is your friend. Google, for instance, if she says, I want you to place 3 V-stitches in the next 4 stitches. Wow, you go, what's a V-stitch? Google it. You'd be surprised how many videos and illustrations are out there. And so I always tell people in the crochet world or anywhere you want to ask a question, Google is your friend. Okay, so I hope that I explained that to you well. Sometimes I feel like I have so many things I want to show you and so many things that I want us to do during our chat that I kind of rush. And so I have to kind of slow myself down and make sure that I explained it so you can understand. Did anybody clink in late? It looks like Tina popped in and Aurora. It's good to see you here. Good morning. Clink in. All right. Now, if you're just now clinking in, we did a little demonstration of what it is to stitch on the opposite or other side of the chain. Once this video is over, go ahead and rewatch it as many times as you want to. And just a little hint, you can share any of my videos on anywhere that you want to. You can share them all over Facebook. You want to share them, you know, just hit that share button and share it. Because I feel like I want everybody to love crochet. And I want everybody to know how to crochet. And another thing to remember is, you know, I don't always do things what people would call technical when it comes to crochet. I have a lot of little weird and fun things that I learned along the way. And so that's why I'm trying to share a lot of those things with you. You know, when it comes to crochet, there isn't a wrong and a right way to do it. Yes, there's single crochets and double crochet, you know, stitches that we use. But a lot of times we do different things differently. Just like making a circle. Sometimes we might use a magic circle. Sometimes we might chain 5 and join and then stitch on those on that ring. Sometimes we might begin a circle by stitching in the 2nd chain or the 3rd chain from the hook. So keep in mind that all pattern designers have little techniques and ways that they do things. And it's okay to ask if I can substitute this for that, or you can even try. It doesn't hurt a thing. Remember to use your creative juices and you can come up with some neat things. Just like you don't have to use the same colors on a pattern that a pattern designer uses, or even the same yarn. Just make sure you stay within the same weight. Anyway, let's get going with what is brand new at Posh Pooch Designs this week. Now, if you'll notice, I pointed the wrong way. If you'll notice behind me, that's my new Ocean Waves bathing suit cover-up crochet pattern. And that is free on the blog. We haven't done a video for it just yet. I was wanting to get it out there because I like to try to be ahead of the season so you have time to get it made so you can wear it when it's hot. If you wait until it's hot and you don't get it made, then you can't wear it, right? Okay, so that is made out of this Red Heart It's a Wrap Rainbow. And let me grab my glasses so I can tell you the color that I chose. I think it's Nautilus. Let's see. There it is, Nautical. And it's really cool. It goes from like navy to light blue to teal. And I think it has some cream in it. I can't remember now because it's almost gone. And this pattern is written in 4 sizes. Small, medium, large, and extra large. And it goes by the measurement across the shoulder. And you can just, and it's really cool because what I did is I made it in 2 pieces, the front and the back, and then I show you how to attach it at the shoulders. You can leave it open on the sides, or if you want to make little armholes, sort of, you can sew the sides up. You can add a tie, ribbon, bow, whatever you want to do to embellish it. And this yarn, I believe it's about 50-50 cotton and polyester. I'm going to look at it again just to make sure I tell you that right. Let me see. It's written so tiny. Let's see. Oh, here it is. It's 55% acrylic and 45% cotton. And I think that's really cool because a lot of yarns, you don't mix the cotton and the polyester together. And with this one, the cotton can be absorbent and the polyester or the acrylic can keep it from shrinking. So it's good. It's going to be a good blend. And it's a really interesting yarn. I want to show you this yarn. See if I can get this close. Maybe here, I'll put it down here so you can see it better. Let me pop back down there because I want you to see this. This yarn is not spun or woven. It's just strands like this. There's 4 of them. And the strand colors change as the colors change on the yarn. When I first started working with it, it annoyed me the way that it was done because most yarns are woven or spun, worsted together, and these are not. But as I got to working with it, I just really loved it. The polyester or acrylic, I should say, in it helps it move smoothly, and the cotton is not a dry, like a cracky cotton. It's a really nice, smooth cotton. Now, I haven't seen them anywhere except Michael's. Now, these were sent to me from Red Heart. The only place that I've seen them to purchase is online. Hirschner's online has them, and then also if you want to purchase them, I've seen them at Joann's. Now I know that some of you have like an AC Moore and some other craft stores that I don't have around here, so I don't know if they have them. The best thing to do is to check online before you go. or you can always give them a call. I've been known to do that. A lot of people don't like to call and ask, do you have this or that? But I want to save myself a trip, right? So I'll call over to Michael's or call over to Joann's to see if they got a particular yarn in yet. Sometimes the ladies that work in, I shouldn't say ladies, sometimes they're men too, that work in those departments can tell you, we're expecting that, 2 weeks from today, or we're expecting it on Saturday night's truck, or whatever like that. And then that can save you a trip. Although if you know me, I'm over around all the different yarn stores every week. All right, so let's talk about some of our new patterns also. Yesterday, this is what I call a pattern revisited. I had already written this pattern a long time ago, and it was part of a set that I did. They're toilet paper covers, sock monkeys. This is your traditional, and this is the one that I did in non-traditional colors. And I like to do things in non-traditional colors because I love the traditional sock monkey. Don't get me wrong. They crack me up every time I see them. And that's why I think they're fun for a toilet paper cover. But I want you to understand that you don't have to do things in the colors that the patterns call for. Like this one here, I used this variegated pink and brown for the hat portion. I did a pink pom-pom, pink mouth, and I trimmed it different. And this one, of course, is the traditional. And we all love these. They just crack me up. And I just thought these would be the funnest thing for a guest room. You've got your really serious friends over, like for your reading club or something, and they go in to use the restroom, and here's this sock monkey thing sitting on the sink or the back of the potty, and they're like, that's so funny. I love that, because I love to laugh, and I like to do silly things. I can't wait to have somebody over and just have it sitting there. All right, so the next thing we did was last week we did another pattern that we revisited, updated the pattern like we did on the sock monkey. And last year, oh my goodness, it's been 2 years in July, I did a series of some Christmas things. I called them the Christmas Candies series. And it was red and white and green and white striped washcloths. And so what I did is I took that same pattern and I made some new ones. Here's a red, white, and blue one. Here's one I did with cream and variegated. And I did another one with variegated and blue. And you can see those nice stripes. And I love this washcloth. It measures, it depends. When I did it with the basic cotton, it measured about 8.5 by 8.5. But this yellow one that I did, this one is the brand new Smoothie Scrubby by Red Heart that I showed you last week. And it measures 9 by 9. It's the same yarn. I used the same hook, an H hook, and it came out just a little bit bigger. But I love how it turned out because I used, you can see I've already been using it. It's my favorite washcloth now. I used the variegated, and then I did solid yellow and trimmed in white. And it came out looking a little bit like gingham, and I kind of like that. So anyway, that's a washcloth that we did. It's just called the striped cotton washcloth. And you can use any cotton. I just really wanted to give a try out to that new Smoothie Scrubby, and I really, really like it. And the neat thing about the Scrubby, the new cotton Scrubby by Red Heart, it's called Smoothie Scrubby. And they made it also as a companion to the regular Scrubbies, because a lot of us, like we did a few weeks ago, when we did the crochet together, some of you did two things, 2 strands of cotton, some of you did 2 strands of Scrubby, and some did one of each. And I really liked the one of each. It's my favorite washcloth, Scrubby. And here's the one I did that's the blue. Remember, we did these together. And so if you want to make a really easy Scrubby, go to last week, or was it 2 weeks ago? Anyway, it says let's make a Scrubby together on the video. You can find that in my playlist. Super easy Scrubby pattern. And that's part of, what they did to go together. And all the colors blend together with the Scrubbies. And so there's a lot of bright colors. And also, the only place that I've seen the Scrubby Smoothie is at Joann's. I haven't seen it at Hobby Lobby or Michael's or even Walmart for that matter. Walmart does have the regular scratchy Scrubby yarn though, so you can get it there. And I found it just a wee bit cheaper at Walmart than it was at Joann's. It was like 3 or 4 cents cheaper, I can't remember. So anyway, this is the time of year when we're thinking about scream. We're not thinking about scream, we're thinking about spring cleaning. Of course, some of us may scream when we have to do scream cleaning. Spring cleaning. And so I wanted to get some washcloths and some different things out there that can help us. So another thing that we're going to do is I have a towel that is off a similar pattern as this. The bottom is similar, and then we're going to crochet the topper for it and show you how to do that. That's coming out next week. And then next week, I have something fun for us to do. If you notice, I'm wearing a rose. And so I decided next week we're going to have another crochet together. I really enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun. And this is a little rose I did a long, oh my goodness, long time ago. And I make a bunch of these, and I'll put them like on a blouse like this, or a sweater, or I'll put them on a shawl or something. And I just use a basic safety pin, but you can put a pin on the back if you want to. And I'm going to show you how to make some of these. Are really, really easy. And so be sure and pop in next week. We're going to have a rose crochet together. And what that means is you'll need some worsted weight yarn, your H hook, and you know what, these don't take hardly any yarn at all. It's a great way to use up your leftover yarns. And you can really make them out of any kind of yarn as long as you match the hook to the yarn. You can use those big chunky yarns and make a big chunky rose, or you can make a tiny little delicate one. It doesn't matter. The pattern is the same. And so I'm actually gonna make some in some different weights so that you can see that for next week. And so that's something that we're gonna do next week. I'm gonna say it a whole bunch of times so you'll remember, because I want you to pop in. I had such a fun time when we made the scrubbies, and I loved all the pictures. And you can post pictures in the group PPD Puppy Love Crochet. And that's just a group here on Facebook, or when you're watching this on YouTube, over on Facebook. And that group is just following along with, I always post all the new patterns over there. I post all the new videos over there. And you can post your pictures. And I want to see them. I know I've got it so that I have to review all the pictures that are posted. And I have it set up that way because I had a horrible experience with some spam that was highly inappropriate. And so I cut off where you can just post it. And so but I try to keep up on it, make sure all the pictures are seen. Now you can post them there, or you can post them on the Posh Pooch Designs page. One thing you'll notice is I asked Facebook to change the name of my Posh Pooch Designs page. When I first started the Posh Pooch Designs page, I had put Posh Pooch Designs dog clothes. And that's because at the time I was only doing dog items. And so I had them take off the dog clothes. And so when you go to the Posh Pooch Designs Facebook page, it's just Posh Pooch Designs now. And I asked them to take it off, and it got approved really fast. I'm keeping the Posh Pooch Designs page because that's what I'm known by, but I didn't want people to think that it's just dog clothes. I crochet everything under the sun, and I want to share it with everybody because I want everybody, like I say, to love crochet and yarn and crochet hooks just like I do. All right, I think that's everything today. We talked about the washcloths, the silly sock monkeys, crocheting on the other side of the yarn, and our swimsuit. I did it again. I poked on the wrong side. And our swimsuit cover up. And like I said, you're really going to love that. And even though I made it out of the It's a Wrap, and it's a #1, it's a fine weight yarn, I think that you can also make it out of some other yarns that are similar in weight. You could probably even go up to a sport weight, and it would probably be okay. You're just going to have to measure as you go. So anyway, excuse me, I didn't hear any beeping or crashing, so we got through the video without too much noise. And I'm so glad you all have clinked in with me today. Like I say all the time, clink. Like I say all the time, I couldn't do what I do without you. I love that you come in and watch my live videos. I love that you watch my videos on YouTube. And please, while you're here over on YouTube, hit that subscribe button and then hit that bell, because if you do that, you'll never miss a free pattern on YouTube. Okay, so make sure you subscribe. But anyway, I love that you follow me on Facebook, and I feel like I have a bunch of friends in all of you because I recognize your names. Hi, Kimberly, you popped in. I missed you. I recognize your names as I look down the list, and that's why I'm looking over, because I have the two screens up. I've got my screen where I'm videoing, and then I have the screen for Facebook where I can see the comments. If I didn't have that one up, I wouldn't be able to see your comments. So anyway, I'm so glad. What does that say? My husband says scream cleaning sounds good. It does. Ah! We have to do it, but we hate it. So anyway, like I said, I'm so glad you're here. I want you to have a wonderful, wonderful week, and make sure you get some crochet done this week. Bye-bye now.